Ooh. Did you hear that? Sounded very official. We are recording. So, okie dokie. Let's just do a little warm up to start with, and hopefully you guys can see me okay on here. All right, so from standing, we'll just do a couple of our usual warm-ups and then we'll come down to the mat. So just standing with your feet hip width apart, nice and soft knees and arms down by our side. Let's take our shoulder shrugs with relaxation. So inhale to bring the shoulders up, and then exhale, just let everything go and shake out. I won't shake too heavy, otherwise the speakers behind me might drop off the table. 3 more, inhale, shoulders high, exhale, let that tension go. 2 more, inhale up, exhale, release. And the last time, inhaling up and exhale to soften. Good. Okay, let's just fold the chin in towards the chest into just a gentle nod of the head, and then we're just going to simply look up towards the ceiling. And just do 2 more of those. So inhaling to bring chin to chest and exhaling to look up towards the ceiling. 1 more time, inhaling chin to chest and exhaling up. This time we're going to keep it going, so we're going to go all the way into a roll down. So roll down through the spine, just nice and slowly there. And let's take 3 flexions and extensions as we're down in our roll down. So we're going to inhale to flex the knees and exhale to think of lifting the hip bones, relaxing the head, but keeping the knees slightly soft. 2 more. Inhale to bend, exhale to stretch. 1 more, inhaling to bend, exhale to lengthen through the tailbone. Last inhale to bend, exhale, slowly roll up through the spine. Take a couple of shoulder rolls at the top. Hopefully you guys can't hear the rain on my window as much as I can. Let's look towards the right shoulder, and we're going to take a roll down and a roll up, but keeping that emphasis towards the right hand side. Okay, so we're rolling down through the spine, keeping the knees soft. Give the head a little wobble there as if you're saying yes or no a couple of times. Breathing in and exhale, roll up, keeping that emphasis down towards the side. Come through the center and then slowly to the other way. So taking a nice fold, allowing that front opposite shoulder to soften forwards as you roll down. Through the spine to relax over the legs. Take a nice deep breath in there. Wobble the head. And on the exhale, roll slowly back up again. Good. Okay, from there, let's just take ear to shoulder stretch on one side. I don't mind which side you go. Take the hand to the side of the head, just to increase that stretch a little bit, but try not to bend the body over. Make sure the opposite shoulder is staying down and away. Find length through the opposite arm and hands. And if you want to, you can take the opposite arm out to the side and just take some rotations of that opposite arm to open out through the neck, the arm and the shoulder. 1 more time either way. And then coming up through the center, a couple of shoulder rolls in the middle and over the other side. So ear to shoulder stretch. Same arm on the side that we've tilted to comes up, just to add a little bit extra stretch. Free arm stays relaxed, or you can take it out to the side and just play with some rotations to open up and create a little bit of a neural glide down through the arm, maybe even into the hand and the fingertips. A couple of times on that side. I know that feels tighter for me. That's it. And bring the arms down and relax the head to center. Okay, let's just do some central squats to warm up. So standing a little bit wider than hip width, arms by our side. On our inhale, we're going to hinge from the hips, keeping the chest lifted and the core engaged. And exhale, we're going to press through the legs to come up. Inhale as we release back, lying down. Exhale, push through the floor to come back up. Inhaling down, exhale up. 1 more, and then we're going to add another 4 with an optional rise. So this time as we come up, add the heel lift, lengthen from the crown of the head, and then control the heels down, back into that squat, and then back through our standing position to go tall, squeezy in the thighs and the ankles, softly lower down and go again. Let's do 3 more of those, just taking our central body squat with our rise, keeping the breath nice and steady. Last one, inhaling back, exhale on that rise. Let's try and hold this rise a little bit longer for 5, 4, take the arms up, 3, find the length, 2, 1, and lower down. Bring those arms down and just give everything a little shake. So hands, arms, ankles and knees. Okay, standing in our plie position, so externally rotated from the hips, knees and toes follow. Arms down by your side, we're just going to soften into our bend and just make sure that the knees are tracking over the toes. And then take the hands onto the side of the head from here. Keeping the core engaged and the shoulders down. We're going to take some oblique folds to the side. So we're inhaling as we fold to the side, exhale as we come back up. Inhaling into side bend, exhale back up. Stay in that plie. Inhale to the side, exhale up. 2 more this way. Inhaling, bend, exhale, recover up. 1 more. Try not to let the weight come into the inner arch of the foot. The other way, keeping the weight over the toes. Take the weight onto the outside of the heel and the little toe. Inhaling over, exhale, squeeze up. 1 more. Inhale over, exhale, squeeze up. Come up from there. Release the arms, and we're just going to take it a bit more dynamically, doing a bend and a stretch, bend and cross. So the arms go down to a stretch and down to cross. 3 more. Down to stretch, down to cross. 2. That's it. Just keeping the breath nice and fluid. 1 more time. We're going to hold our plie and we're going to take our arms out in front of us, roll our shoulders back, go deeper into that plie if you can, and lift off 1 heel. We're going to pulse for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Lower the heel, lift off the other heel, stay in that same amount of plie. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 4 bounces this time on the next leg. 4, 3, 2, 1. Lower down, lift. 4, 3, 2, 1. Lower down. 2 on each side. That's it. And then let's take 10 alternate singles. Really working those feet as we go through, keeping in that same amount of plie. Oh, feel those legs burning. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Both heels down. Hold for a moment and then push up through those legs. Oh, leg burn. Okie dokie. Standing towards the back of your mat, we're going to take a roll down exercise into shoulder taps 10 times. So you can either be in 4-point, 3/4 plank or full plank for this one. So whichever one you want. On an inhale, let's this time circle the arms up. As we exhale, bring our chin in towards our chest. Slowly roll down through the spine to come into whatever level of plank you want to go to. I'm going to go to 3/4. When you're down there, take your alternate shoulder taps, minimizing the movement in the rest of the body, keeping the shoulders away from the ears, the core nice and engaged, the breath nice and soft. Once you've done your 10, we're just going to soften back to a child's pose for a breath or 2. Take a couple of breaths in child's pose. We're then going to come back through 4-point. We're going to tuck the toes under and we're going to come to a downward dog position. So on the exhale, squeeze the core, lift up into downward dog position here. You can keep your knees slightly soft if you need to. Breathe. 1 more breath and then we're going to soften the knees, walk the hands in towards the feet and gently roll up. Okay, we're going to do those shoulder taps again, but we're going to add a rotation with the upper body in between the taps. So we tap across, we open out into rotation, we tap back, and then we lower down. Okay, so let's do that again 10 times. Inhaling, exhaling to slowly roll down through the spine, nice and soft. Coming down and in contact. I'm just going to demo this from 4-point, but if you want to go from 3/4 or full, you can. So we're going to tap across to the opposite shoulder. Same arm is going to open out, tap back, and return down. Switch sides. Okay. So we're doing this 10 times, alternating sides each time we do it. That's it, tapping across and to open, across and down. So if you're in a 3/4 plank or full plank, you can rotate those hips a little bit as you open out, just to maximize that range of movement. 2 more. That's it. Keeping the eye line, following the hands to get that maximal rotation. Back to child's pose after that last one. Take a couple of breaths there, maybe give the hips a little bit of a wiggle, maybe soften through the shoulders, do whatever feels nice in that position. And we're going to come back to a downward dog and back to a roll up from downward dog. So tuck those toes. On the exhale, we're going to hinge in the hips. We're going to lift the hips up. Don't worry about planting the heels, keep the knees soft, but really think of lifting the hips and relaxing the head, keeping the neck long. Take 2 breaths there. One more time. And then walk the hands back in and gently come back up to standing. All right, so we're going to repeat, for those that are watching it live, we're going to repeat the exercise we did in class last week, where we come into our dynamic hip flexor lunge forwards, okay? And then we add the tuck of the back toes to add a knee lift into our lunge, okay? And then we're going to go one step further today. We're going to try and step up to 2 legs, back to a lunge, and then down to a kneeling, okay? So we've got it in some levels. So let's go with the right leg forwards, okay? So on an inhale, we're going to bend into that right leg as we release the hips down, keeping the core engaged, the arms reach up. And as we exhale, we just push back. So inhale as we take the weight forwards, exhale as we push back. Inhale forwards, find that length through the arms, exhale. One more time, just like this. Now to do this next one, you need to take the weight slightly forwards again. Keep the arms down for now, tuck the back toes underneath, and on an exhale this time, you're going to lift both arms. Inhale, you're going to lower the knee down. Exhale, lift. Inhale, lower. Let's go for 4 more if we can. Exhale, lift. Inhale, lower. And 3. And lower. And 2. And lower. Then after this last one, inhale, hold. Exhale, drive through the front leg to come up to 2 if you can. That's a challenge. Step back with the arms up. Oh, she stays wobbling around, and then lower the knee. So you come to lunge with the arms up. On the next exhale, we step in. Inhale. Exhale, step back. Final exhale, lower the knee. Let's do that 3 more if we can. So we lift to lunge. Push up, drive through that supporting leg. Control, step back, and control the knee down. This is a hard one. That's it. 2 more, and then we're going to do this whole thing on the second side. So drive that leg, drive into the front supporting heel, strengthen through that supporting leg, and come back. Let's come to 2 knees. Let's just sink back into a child pose in between. Give those hips a wiggle. Good, okay, second side. So whichever leg you didn't use is going to come forwards. And we've got our dynamic lunges forwards. Okay, so on an inhale, we're going to bend into that leg. And on an exhale, we're going to push back gently. So inhale, we take our hips down, we lengthen through that back thigh, and we extend the arms up to challenge the arm and spinal extension. 2 more, inhaling, exhale, inhaling, exhale. Now this time, we're going to inhale, we're going to stay forwards, we're going to tuck the toes. On the exhale, we're going to lift the back leg. Inhale, we're going to go down, exhale, we're going to lift. Inhale down, 3 more at this level. Exhale, lift. If you need to take the level down at any point, do. You'll find one side's a lot easier than the other. 1 more time like this. And then what I will say is just narrow your stance a little bit again before we do the next level. Okay, so we take the weight forwards. We tuck the back leg, we lift to a lunge, and on the next exhale, we step up to 2. Next exhale, step back. Next exhale, lower. So we exhale, lunge, inhale, exhale, step up. Good, that's it. 3 more times. Just making sure that everyone's still with me. Well done. This is not an easy one. Just be mindful of knees. Really think of that control center and the supporting leg powering through as you push off it. Good. One more. And then whenever you finish, come back into a child's pose stretch on that side. Ooh. Take a diagonal stretch in child's pose either side. So remember, one hand on top of the other, relax the head down, hips are reaching away from the hands, slight posterior tilt to get that nice opening on the back. Then walk the hands through center over the second way. That's it, one hand on top of the other one, slight posterior tilt to get that nice open, couple of breaths. Coming back to center, just come up to a 4-point kneeling and just take some nice movements with the spine. Any movements, a little bit like our disco cat movement. You can't go wrong with this one. Just move the spine, circle, involve the pelvis, just to create some nice circular and flowing shapes with your spine. One more little wiggle or jiggle. Good. And then we're going to come and sit to one side and bring the legs round to the front. Okay, so we're going to do 2 half roll down variations now. The first ones we're going to do with our arms. I always feel like this is like the Pied Piper or a sailor dance that I did when I was little, I'm not sure which one. Folding the arms here. We're going to sit up nice and tall on our breath in. As we breathe out, we're going to tilt and we're going to roll back halfway. Our next breath out, we're going to rotate. Okay, next breath out, return to center. And final breath out, we're going to roll back up again. So we're going to do that whole thing 6 times, alternating sides. So sitting up with our arms folded here. Inhale, go really tall. Exhale, think of that posterior tilt to roll back halfway. Inhale, hold. Exhale, return to the side. Inhale, hold. Exhale, return to center. Inhale, hold there. Exhale, roll up through the spine. Inhale, sit as tall as you can. Exhale, roll down. Inhale, hold. Exhale, twist the other way. Inhale, hold. Exhale, return. Inhale, hold. Exhale, roll up. 4 more. So using that breath to really help on the mobility of the spine, the flow of the movement, but also breathing out on the effort will just to help. 1 more either side. Really imagine wringing the towel out of the water out of a towel as you twist. Good, that last side. Roll up, just soften forwards with the feet together and the knees out to the side. Give yourself a couple of breaths here, just releasing the body and the head forwards. Okay, we're coming up to sitting. This next variation, we're going to start with our arms out. If you just watch this first one, we're going to roll down to our half roll back. On our next exhale, we're going to open the arm. We're going to hold for a breath in, close, and then we're going to roll up. So it's a similar exercise to that last one, but adding that arm extension is just that extra little bit of rotation, but also work for the core. So let's do that one 6 times, okay? Oh, it's hot in here. Sitting tall, exhaling, rolling down. So if in doubt, you could always have a hand behind the thigh as you do this one, as you open out, and return the hand to the thigh and roll up from there, so you've got a bit more support, okay? Otherwise, when you're reaching out, you're trying to reach behind you as much as you can. Inhale to hold, exhale to return, and final exhale to roll up. Okay, 4 more, just in your own time, alternating sides. So adding that extension of the arm is just increasing that force on the middle of the body. Last one. then this time, just extend those legs in front. You could keep them bent if you wanted to, and release the weight forwards. Okay, if the legs are straight, don't worry about having the most perfect stretch. It's just a body weight release forwards more than anything else. So wherever you are, you might want to flex your toes. You might want to put the hands around the tops of the toes, maybe add a little rock, relax the head, take a couple of breaths, and just enjoy that feeling of coming forwards over the legs. And then rounding back up. Okay, let's come to a side kneeling position. I'm going to come into a lovely upper body contraction scoop into a side bend just to warm up, stretch through the side, but also warm up into the lats and the obliques. So let's take one leg out to the side. So we're in a parallel high kneeling position. Okay, taking the arms out to the side from there, turn the palms forward, but keep those shoulders down into your back pockets. Inhale, take the spine nice and long. Exhale, let's fold and contract into our scoop. Inhale to come up. So exhale, we're scooping. If you see me from the side, there's a little bit of a tilt back of those hips to help you get that nice rounded spine. So do 3 more of those. Good, and 2. Last one. And this time on an exhale, we're going to take one hand to the supporting hip and the next arm over. We're going to inhale to hold and exhale, come up. Inhale. Exhale, side bend. Inhale, hold. Exhale, come up. 3 more. So we're really working the obliques, the core, and into the side of the body. So we're stretching, but we're also strengthening at the same time. So one more time. Then we're going to add a little bit of a variation. So if you want to watch me for this one, the hands are going to come to the side of the head, keeping slightly forwards when we take that lateral flexion. We're going to go to the side, and then we're going to turn our body down to face the mat. We're then going to rotate back, then we're going to recover up. Okay, so we add that little rotation towards the mat as we're down. If that's too much for you, just stick to side flexion and return. Okay, so let's take a side flexion. From there, turn the top elbow, rotate the body down, return to the side, oh, and squeeze and come up. 4 more. Turn down, add that rotation, rotate back, elbow high, and recover up. 3. Good. We'll hopefully feel it in our waists tomorrow. Feel like we've zipped ourselves in an inch. One more time. Oh, that's it. And come up from there. Oh, just relax those arms. Okay, 2 for the legs. We're going to take our supporting hand down to the mat, fingertips facing forwards or to the side, whichever feels more comfortable for you, but keep the elbows slightly soft. Top hand on the hip, we're going to take our side leg lifts. So keep that side leg parallel and keep it in contact with the mat on the inhale. On the exhale, we lengthen and lift. So we don't go high with that leg, we really go long with that leg. Inhale. So we will begin to feel that supporting leg as well. 5 more. Keep the neck nice and long, keep lifting out of that underneath side and shoulders down away from the ears. 2, 1. This last time we're going to keep leg out. So if you watch me, we're going to fold and tuck the leg in, extend out, flex the foot and draw the heel back. So we're taking like a big bicycle action with that leg. Now this is a really strong movement. So if you do need to come down to sunbather pose and take your bicycle leg here, you can always come off that supporting side. If your wrists are bothering you by now, you can always come down onto flat side. Okay, 4 more. Inhale as we bend, exhale as we flex and extend. 2 more. Lifting out that underneath side Good, and soften down. Let's just sit back to the heels, give the hips a little bit of a wiggle. Okay, couple of shoulder rolls there. Let's just circle the arms up, down, a couple more times just to take that movement. And then we're going to do the whole thing on this second side. All right, so when you are ready, up to kneeling, into our side kneeling position. So next leg out, keeping parallel, arms out to the side, shoulders round and down, palms facing forwards. On an exhale, we're taking our scoop. Inhale, coming up. Exhale, scoop and fold. Inhale, coming up. Exhale, fold. 3 more. One more time, and then we take the dynamic side bends, taking the arm that's closest to the mat. This time we take it to the hip and the arm comes over. We hold for a breath in, and on our breath out, we squeeze the core and come back up. So exhale, we go over. Inhale, we hold. Exhale, we come back up. So you should be able to feel this side, this top side on the way back up especially, squeeze to bring you up. One more time, and then we're going to add the variation with the hands on the side of the head. Okay. So either side of the head with those hands, elbows wide, shoulders down. Inhaling, exhale, lateral bend. Inhale, we rotate to face the mat. Exhale, we come back, and we come up. Okay. Oh, I've just found the side that I don't rotate as well. So soften over, and then look down, rotate, return back, and come up. 3 more if you can. Taking that side bend, top elbow high, rotate down, return back, lift the elbow, and return up. Last time. Coming back, returning up. Let's just again sit back towards those heels, give the hips a little wiggle, couple of shoulder rolls. Going to take an arm stretch from there. We're going to take the right arm across the chest. We're going to hold underneath the left to pull that right arm in. Soften the shoulders down. Okay, and just relax the shoulders nice and heavy to try and get the stretch through the back of the arm, back side of the arm into the deltoid there. Relaxing down and bring the arm across, other arm underneath, both arms draw in without letting those shoulders rotate. Soften the shoulders, take a couple of breaths. Good, and just relax there. Okay, a little demo of our 2 exercises for prone that we're going to do. Okay, so our first one is hip extensions with leg extensions. So we're going to bend the arms, put one hand on top of the other, little bit of posterior pelvic tuck as if we've got that pin underneath, legs a little bit wider than hip width, lengthening, and then the head down onto the back of the hands. We're going to keep the head there. On an exhale, we're going to lengthen and lift one leg, but really think of the length, not the height, and then we're going to inhale, tap down. So we're going to take 10 alternate leg lifts and lengthens, keeping the head down. Okay. We're then going to take our side kick exercise. So with our head down, we're going to pull both heels in towards our bottom twice, and then on exhale, we lengthen away. Okay, so we beat in twice, and then we exhale and lengthen. So beat in twice and lengthen. The option is to have your hands behind your back, head down to one side, beat the legs in twice, and on the way back, we look center, we squeeze the shoulders back, and we lift the head and the chest up. We then replace the cheek down the opposite side, we beat in twice, and then we exhale, look center, into back extension, and lower down. So that's our double leg kick from prone. So come down onto your front if you haven't already, and we'll take the hip extension and the leg lifts 10 times. So fold the arms, one on top of the other, forehead down onto the back of the hands, soft shoulders, pin underneath the belly button, slight posterior tilt, legs open, Inhaling, exhale, let's lengthen and lift one leg. Inhale, tap it down. Exhale, lengthen and lift in that second side. So the whole time we're keeping the hip bones parallel to the mat. So only lift the leg as long as you can, sorry, as high as you can, without letting those hips take that tilt. Keep the head relaxed, lengthen through the front of the leg right down to the toes, and try not to let that leg bend. So exhale as you lengthen and lift, inhale as you lower. 4 more. 3, 2, last one. Okay, so we're going to relax down with the right cheek or whichever one is facing me down onto the mat. We're going to clasp the hands and we're going to have our arms behind our back. Okay, bring those legs back together. So on an inhale, we're going to beat both heels in towards the bottom twice. And on an exhale, as we lengthen the legs away, we look towards the mat, we extend the arms, we squeeze the shoulders together, and inhale, we release the other cheek down. We pulse in for 2, exhale, into extension. So each time we switch what cheek we have on the floor, and as we exhale and come up to extension, we look down towards our mat. If that's too strong a movement, change it to any of your gentle extension exercises, but with the arms there for support. Okay, so same thing applies on the exhale. You'll be coming up into that extension. You'll be inhaling to hold and exhale to slowly roll down with that support. Okay, just be really mindful if you're doing double leg kick, really keep that lower back supported by engaging through the core, not coming up too high. 2 more. And relax down from there. Bring both hands by the shoulders and let's push up into 4-point kneeling and just wiggle those hips a little bit, and then maybe take a couple of cats and cows just to soften off after that one. And then into child's pose just to finish with. Again, giving those hips a little bit of a wiggle. All right. Okay, coming up to sitting from there, we're just going to take a roll down through the spine and we're going to come into an exercise for lower abdominals. So I want you to take both hands and place them behind the back of the head. Okay, so elbows are wide, shoulders are down your back. Okay, I'm going to lift the left leg to a single tabletop position. I'm going to make sure I've got my nice Pilates imprint, and then I'm going to lift my second leg up above the hip. I'm going to flex that foot that's up above the hip, and I'm going to lengthen it down without letting this leg position or my core change. Just before it gets to the mat, I'm going to peel it back in and extend it back up. So we're flexing as we lengthen slowly down. Just before the floor, we soften the ankle and we peel it back in and take it up. Okay, let's do 6 more on this side. Good. Keep the neck nice and relaxed. And all of the effort is into, as we lower this leg, we're keeping that lumbar pelvic stability. 4. That's it. 3 more. So really slow movement, a big bicycle type action with that working leg. And then we're going to switch sides. Okay, in between, just come into a full body stretch. Okay, this time you can let that rib cage flare. Take a couple of nice deep breaths there, a couple of reaches through either side of the arms. And then return that lumbar pelvic stability, return the arms down and then behind the head. And let's switch sides. So now right leg to tabletop, or whichever one you didn't use before. And second working leg begins to unfold towards the ceiling, flex the foot, and then we draw and lengthen it down. Fold it back in and up, flex, draw and lengthen down. Good. 6 more. So keeping the breath really steady. Exhaling as you lengthen the leg down. And really think of holding that imaginary blueberry underneath the lower back. One more time. Good. And then just fold both knees in towards the chest. Give those knees a little circle or a little wiggle. Anything just to lightly massage out through the lower back. All right, let's do a nice stretch into a thoracic twist. So we're going to take the arms a little bit wider onto the mat and then open the palm of the hands towards the ceiling. My right leg is going to extend down, my left leg is going to come to tabletop position, and then very slowly I'm going to allow that left leg to come across the midline of the body and take me into a rotation. Okay, this leg might not meet the mat. Try not to let your opposite shoulder come off the mat. Okay, so come into that fold. That feels nice. The hand that's on that side that we've lent to, you can place on the top of the knee and just create a little bit of a deeper twist if you need it or if you want it. Take a couple of deep breaths there. And then return in and switch sides, just gently folding in. So second leg to tabletop. Taking that leg across into rotation, keeping the shoulders square. Breathing in deeply through the nose and out through the mouth. Good, and then coming back to center. Bringing both knees in towards the chest again. Come into that externally rotated position, open the knees and the hips, and just hinge and rock side to side, just to loosen out and create a bit of mobility and a bit of ease into the pelvis. Okay, bringing the knees back together. Let's take our rocking motion twice, and on the second one, we're going to come up to sitting. Let's do our seated glute and hip opener just to finish with. So from a seated position, you're going to take the right leg forwards and the left leg behind you. Okay, if you really struggled with this, you could put a block or a cushion underneath that front hip. Arms in front, trying to keep the weight in the center. Sitting nice and tall, and on a breath out, you're just going to fold the body over that front leg, keeping the chest lifted until you've got that maximal hip fold, and then soften the head and the neck down. Always pushing off that arm that you're inclined to go towards. Push off that arm just to keep that stretch nice and deep and to keep the body weight in the center. Couple of nice deep breaths. Relax the head, relax the shoulders if you can. Gently coming up and out of that one, switching sides. Left leg forwards, right leg behind, or whichever one you didn't use. Always got a side that feels more comfortable to go into. Okay, trying to keep the body weight in the center if you can. Inhaling to go tall. Exhale to gently take that hip fold forwards, which is when you should feel that stretch. Obviously, we're all different degrees of rotation there, so some of you might not feel it, some of you may feel that. Just relax the head as well. Breathing nice and deeply, in through the nose and out through the mouth. Good, and rolling up from there. Okay, just in seated with the legs crossed. Okay, arms out to the side. We're just going to take one arm down to the side and the other arm up and over, and really think of hinging the hip away from the shoulder on that side to really open up through the side body. That's it. And then once you've done that to the side, just round forwards, bring that arm slightly forwards and bring that contraction scoop slightly forwards. Go back to the side again and then come up. So we go to the side, We then allow the arm to round forwards, as if we're going to circle the whole way. Then we go back, and then we come up. Do that one more time that way. So we go into side stretch, body rounds forward, arm circles forwards. Then we return back, and then we come up. Okay, and over the other way when you're ready, into a side stretch. Think hip away from shoulder on that side. Coming up. And then this next time we go into a side stretch. Then we scoop, the arm reaches forwards, comes slightly forwards and round. And then back to the side, and then up and out. 2 more times. So we take side bend, and then round and scoop forwards with the arm. Lengthen through the arm to really open up from the hip. And one last time. Good, okay. And then last of all, we're just going to take the legs out in front, slightly wider, with the feet flexed. Hands between the legs, inhaling to sit tall. Exhale, we're just going to gently walk the hands forward just as much as the body allows, which for me is not much today. And then just relax the head down. Keep the feet flexed though, and the heels pushing forwards and the toes lifting to really get that active hamstring stretch. Think of slightly anteriorly rotating your pelvis as well to get a deeper stretch. Soften through the shoulders and take a couple of nice deep breaths here. Good. And then roll up to seated, couple of shoulder rolls. And we are all done. I'm just going to come in, quickly press stop recording.